Hey Raiders, welcome back to another live arena battle video. This video will feature 20 fights and 10 wins as I test out the new couple Narses and Ankora. This first fight did not use them, but I do use them in most of the fights after. So this fight, I go first and get Duchess. They go Arbiter and Mezamel. So then I am going to try out Fatalis, who is not completed, does not have masteries, but I want to try him out. They're going to go with Narses and Crixia. Then I'll go with Wukong, and I want to keep somebody from dying, so I'm going to go with Goffred. That's to protect against Mezamel. I don't have a lot of luck against Mezamel. Then they go Lady Mikage, so I got to ban the Crixia. They ban the UDK. So we get started. They buff up. Mikage goes for the stun and does not get the crit, gets the weak hit on Wukong. That's crucial to this fight. And then Wukong comes back with a vengeance as he cuts in, and they're done. The big thing also was that Duchess cut in and put Wukong under Perfect Veil, and then Mezamel wasn't able to kill Wukong. Had Duchess not been over 300 speed, that wouldn't have worked out that way, and I might have lost. So this fight, I go first and pick Duchess, and then I'm going to go ahead and go with Narses. And they're going Taurus. I'm going to go Ankora, and then I'm going to go Stultus +4. So I'm going to have to ban... Actually, I don't go Stultus. I decided to go Xena at the last minute to counter the Siphi. So I'm going to have to ban the Warlord, and they're going to ban my Duchess so I don't have Revive. Well, I don't have that Revive. I have Ankora Revive. So they're going to go first with Siphi, and Siphi's going to go ahead and test my Xena with Harima in there to reduce the amount of ignored defense. Almost took out the Harima. Then Taurus is going to go and knock out my Xena. Narses hasn't gone yet, but there is nothing in these teams with Siphi that allows Narses to do his thing. He's able to take out the Harima, but we're pretty much done as soon as Narses dies. So, Narses versus Siphi isn't so good because Siphi doesn't have anything in particular unless she's in bolster that helps Narses win the fight. So I'm just basically out here flapping, and actually that's Ankora. Ankora was the one standing because I built a pretty tanky and in reaction, and she brought Narses back, but we're going to be done. And so that didn't work out too well because they didn't have a team composition that was all that susceptible to the Narses Ankora setup. So I forced it, and I lost. So the next battle, they're going to go Siphi first, and I'm going to go UDK, and I'm going to go Duchess. And picking Duchess is not a great idea with Narses, even though she's good to buff him, because he's really good against Duchess. So it would be better to pick Siphi than Duchess. So I'm going to go... Again, I go the couple, and I'm going to go Xena. They're going to ban the Narses, and they have Georgid and Mezamel. So again, I forced it, and again, they have Siphi. Now, they're in Stone Skin. They're all in Stone Skin. Actually, that's Lazarius, not Mezamel. But they're all in Stone Skin except Siphi, and that's going to be a problem. So Ankora's almost gone, and Xena's gone. So I'm kind of overmatched right now, forcing the couple and not getting Siphi. I think at this point, I may want to consider going with Siphi if I want to force the couple, and I need to test that out. I don't test it out here. So I have Duchess still, but this team is pretty much destroying me. I mean, it's a slow destruction. And Duchess is gone, so I'm going to back out. So I lose a lot trying to force the couple here, but there's a lot to learn from in this. So I get Gra, they go first. They're going to go Wukong, and I'm going to go Ultimate Death Knight and Duchess, which has been my strategy. The problem with that strategy is it's not all that compatible with my strategy on Narses and Ankora, at least with the builds I have them in. So they're going to go with Yumiko and Stultus, so I can't go Stultus. I'm going to go the couple. And we'll see who they finish off with. I mean, I look at this, and I'm like, okay, that's a winnable fight right there. That is a winnable fight, banning the Yumiko I'm going to go Stoneskin Errol, and this is going to be interesting. So, Wukong is going to go after getting buffed. He's going to try and strip, and he puts the block buffs on Narses. Ankora can cleanse, though. So, Tormin goes for the provoke, and I have enough accuracy on my Ankora to polymorph him. And then I'm able to take out this team pretty well with the Errol, except the Wukong is still in there, and then I take him out. So, decent on that one. Decent to get his speed team. He went with 3 damagers. So then I get Brisov, who I have faced relatively recently. I believe I beat him, but it was a close one. So he's going to pick Warlord first, and then I'm going to go with Ultimate Death Knight and Duchess, which has been my strategy. But I haven't hit confirm yet. Sometimes I look back at these fights that I already did, and I'm thinking, like, what? Why did I pause so much? Then I click off of them, and I go with Ultimate Death Knight and Duchess. I don't know why I was doing that. Something going through my head, probably about Narses and Ankora, or maybe thinking I didn't want to go with that setup, but I ended up going with it. Nice second guessing, though. I guess that's kind of the downside of doing a voiceover instead of live narration, because I can't really tell you what was going on in my head when I was doing that. So then he's going to go Marichka and Georgid. So I can't use my Georgid, which isn't completely built. I'm not going to use Georgid until I get 2-star Awakening and get the attack boost, because I do have him built in Stone Skin. So I got to get that extra attack. So then I'm going to go the couple, and I have 1 damager slot left. See who they finish off with. So I got to ban the Warlord. I mean, the couple can be reasonably good at fighting through cooldowns because of Ankora's passive. And they will go Arbiter and Rhodos. I wish I could get Goffred in here. So that's the bad thing about forcing the couple, is I don't have a slot for Goffred. I should have done that instead of Ankora, and I probably would have won this fight. But I also don't have anybody that inherently counters Marichka on Marichka's passive. So they're going to take out the UDK, and I'm pretty much just out there flapping on this fight. So forcing them, the Ankora slot should not have been Ankora. That should have been Goffred on my account. So we'll get started, and they will go first. And Marichka is not going to buff. Oh, she got lucky on that ally attack with Georgid, who has such a strong A1, much stronger than Rhodos's. That was the best one that possibly could have gone and took out my Staltis. So I'm going to buff up rather than reviving the Staltis. I mean, I could have revived the Staltis, but I did not. Arbiter will decrease buff duration on the Narses. Now I'll bring back the Staltis, and I'll try to just lower the boom with Narses, who has nothing. He does... Actually, no. I decided to go with his A3 rather than A2. Because I want to take out the Rhodos, and I do. So I get an extra turn. I'll take out the Georgid. Now here's a problem. What I should have done here was waited until Stoneskin was gone off Marichka and then killed Marichka. But instead, I go for the Arbiter. This was not a problem in team composition. This was a top problem in general approach to Marichka, and normally I don't get it wrong like this. So there I took out the Arbiter when I should have A1'd into Marichka, because if I had done that, Arbiter would have had to burn her revive, and I may have had the opportunity to have someone's AoE up to take people out after Arbiter revived. But I didn't do that, so when Arbiter pops back up here, she's able to revive the Marichka. And then I got to do it all over again, and they get to go, and I'm in trouble. So it may not have worked out anyway, but maybe the sequences would have been a little bit different. So on to the next battle. I'll get Buhaya, and I will go Duchess. They go Wukong and Harima. I go UDK, I do like using UDK against Wukong. And then I go Stultus, because I do also want to pick a damager in my first 3 picks. They're going to go Lady Mikage and Necret. And I apologize for the quality on some of these videos. It was taken on my iPhone, which doesn't have that great of recording capabilities. But I finish off with Ankora and Narses. They ban the Narses, and I have to ban their Mikage. So we get going, and I have low battery. So I'm going to try and do that, but I did not have the ability to buff because of Wukong. So that was kind of frustrating. And I probably should have spent his other AoE rather than that one. If you ever have block buffs on and you want to do an AoE with Stultus, you should do his A2, not his A3. Because he can still potentially stun. Although, against Pythion here, it's faster here. That didn't work out anyway. But they've got my Duchess pretty low, and I'm not hanging in there very well on this one. So Duchess is gone. I do still have Ankora, who brings back Duchess. UDK puts up the shield and the shield and the continuous heal. But so I'm doing pretty well. I got 2 of them gone. Now all I needed to do was get the Harima on the Wukong, but unfortunately the Wukong finished me off with his A2. So I felt like I had that one, and that one just got away from me. So then I get Jeff 6996, and they go Wukong. I go UDK and Duchess. They'll go Mithrala, Harima, Pythion, and Ukko. I go Narses, Ankora, and Stultus. So we get started, and I go first. I'll buff up, and I lose 1 increase attack, so no big deal. Don't need that anyway. Mithrala is going to buff, and then Mighty Ukko is going to strip us. So I'm trying to work on that Mighty Ukko first. I don't want him to use his revive. Plus, he's normally not that tanky. So I want to kill him first, and then take out the Pythion. With the block buffs, it's kind of hard for me to get in there with any kind of buffs on anybody, because 2 of them are not going to get buffed. So this team is quite a bit faster than mine by comparison. They're getting a lot more turns than I am. And I've almost got that Mighty Ukko gone, but not quite. And the Harima ability to provoke Duchess kind of gets in the way here. So I think on the next set, I'm going to probably abandon using Duchess for a bit and risk the Xena, which I'm going to use Siphi and risk Xena, and see how Siphi does with my couple. Not try to force the couple so much. At the end of this video, I'm not forcing the couple, and I'm not getting so many losses. I'm breaking through on them, but then Pythion's able to bring them back, and then Harima's back with block damage, and I got to start all over again. I want to get Pythion gone. I'm doing okay, but Mithrala gets to be annoying. Normally, Mithrala being annoying isn't enough. I block revive on the Mighty Ukko and get provoked. Duchess is holding up pretty well. She's going to bring a couple of them back that fell. I just need to get that Harima out of there. Harima is really the only win condition they have left, and that's nice. I'm able to cover up the Hex with block debuffs. So Harima's out. He brings her back, but she's low, and I kill her again, so it looks like I'm going to escape this one with a win. There goes, not quite, but now Pythion's gone, and I make it out of this one. So that felt pretty good. Anytime I'm losing quite a few matches and I get a win mixed in there, I feel good. So I get Alicia before. I go Duchess first, and then I go Harima, or they go Harima, and they go Marichka. I will go Narses, and this time I have Necret protection. So switching it up just a little bit here. That's going to allow me to bring a different damager too, an attack-based damager if I want. So they will go with UDK and Wukong. And then, see what I'm going to go with here. I will probably, I decided to go Warlord and Stultus. So they go Rhodos, which may mean they're not going to ban the Warlord. I ban the Rhodos, and they leave the Warlord. And that's why I banned the Rhodos. So I felt like the pick and ban strategy did okay here. I do think I lose this fight, but I'm able to get them all on cooldown. I think the problem is just Wukong comes back so quickly and does so much damage on me. Not able to get the Harima down because of the single target. One of the hits goes to UDK. I mean, I really should be just trying to hit Marichka hard, and she's really tanky, actually. It's a pretty tanky Marichka. But I go with the AoE, and all I'm able to take out is Wukong. And that allows Harima to do her buff, because I've already done the AoE. So that was bad execution on my part. I needed to wait through that standoff and not do the AoE. He gets a lucky provoke on Warlord. I say lucky because UDK, if it was UDK's provoke, it's not that good of a possibility of getting it. And then if it was Harima, you usually don't see her built with accuracy. And they'll finish me off. So, yeah, bad strategy on that one for me. I think I did okay. The pick and ban was all right. I think I just didn't have very good follow through. So then I kind of got my video blocked here, or shut off, and I started recording during the pick and ban. They went with Narses, the Narses couple, the king and queen, and they went with Taurus Marichka. So this one was pretty much impossible. I went with all stone skin, but yeah, I wasn't going to be able to do much with this. And then they added Shuzen to complement them. I had to ban the Marichka, but not really going very far with this. I felt like I did pretty well, and here's where I make the mistake. I sleep the Taurus, and I needed to sleep the king. The king takes me out. If I'd slept the king, I actually would have pulled away with that one. But again, it's getting used to new champions, and I didn't think I had anything that was going to allow the king to destroy me, but when Duchess went, she put shield on both her and Sifi, and then the king took us both out. So the next battle is Wukong. They go with Wukong, I go with UDK and Duchess, and at this point I'm abandoning going with the king and queen. I want to use it more fluidly. And so I have to ban the Warlord here, and they've got a ton of champions that just wreak havoc. They're going to ban my UDK, so they got Shuzen, Mikage, and they've got block damage. And they've got buff strip. So I got block buffs on almost everyone except Errol. And this one is just going to be hard to win. So Errol wasn't able to take out Shuzen like I'd hoped. Go with the double hitter. Shuzen's gone this time. If I can get the Mikage gone, I may have a shot. Errol's gone, but Duchess is now gone too. So we're done with this one. I just didn't quite have enough. I surprisingly matched up well with them. But a support Goffred is not going to hold his own against them. So we'll get going on the next battle. And I will match with Ifvien. He'll pick first and go Arbiter. So a speed team. I'll go Duchess and Ankora. So I guess I'm still kind of forcing the Ankora. They'll go Harima and Wukong. I have to pick a damager here, so do I go Narses? I'm going to go with Ramon 2 and Errol, 2 stone skin damagers. So I'm not going Narses in this battle. They're going to go Cardiel and Ragash. So I feel pretty good on this fight. I'm going to go with the Tormin and ban the Wukong. I messed up on the ban because I have 2 stone skin nukers who also have the awakening that generally will prevent stone skin from being removed. And then I banned the Wukong. That was a counter to Wukong. I should have left the Wukong. I should have banned Cardial maybe? Cardial or Arbiter, but probably Cardial, because I come really close to beating this team, but if they had Wukong, I probably would have won this. So I think about reviving the Errol, and don't, and there's not much left. I can revive one. Do I want Ramontu or Errol? I'm going to go with Errol, and Cardial puts up the revive on death again. So, yeah, the Cardial was the one I really probably should have banned. Yeah, and there goes Ankora, and I'm done. So that ban segment there was just silly. I should have left in the Wukong, and I think I was just kind of rattled from all the losses I was having. So I'll get Rabbit. Yeah, I was kind of rattled from the losses. I was going through my fights too quickly, and I forgot what I was doing. That's the point of those two Stone Skin nukers, is to not be stripped of Stone Skin, to have roughly a 75% chance of keeping it when Wukong goes, and then have them hit. And I have two of them, so I can pretty much kill everybody except Wukong. But I didn't play it that way. So getting another speed team, and it looks like bombs, but a little strange when they do go Lysandra. So I'm going to go Mithrala here, because I'm thinking they're going bombs. And I'm going to go Errol, who's not particularly good against bombs, and they don't go bombs. But I'm not too concerned with that team. I mean, I go ahead and ban the bombs. They're going to ban the Mithrala, so that was a good ban pick for me. Bad one for him. I have two Stone Skin damagers, and this should be an easy win. I don't foresee Gurgo being able to strip Stone Skin off both of them. Definitely not Errol. So he was able to freeze the Necret, and I had a handle on that one, and he left the battle. So I'd lost several in a row before that one, so it was kind of like, wow, finally. So I'm out of the point of forcing Narses and Ankora, and the deal with Narses and Ankora is, as I get Deet CM from OBV, hey OBV. Deet, you're kind of annoying though, just no offense, but you're pretty annoying with the whole waiting until the end on every single thing you do, and then it's obvious that that you're not away, you're just waiting. But in any case, I think this battle, I do pick Narses. This is a good one for Narses because it's against Duchess. Duchess will ignore Duchess's passive will be ignored by Narses, and her shield will make them double susceptible. So I'm going to go Ankora and Narses. This is actually a good opportunity to use them. And then my other damager is going to be Ramontu. Deet is higher account power than me though, so I don't think I pull out this win. I don't remember. So I'm going to go Tormund because they're going speed. And here, I'm not going to ban the Duchess, so Tormund was actually a really bad pick. Tormund's a really bad pick because Arbiter is not going to use her buff here. Tormund was just terrible. There are times when you should pick Tormund, but if you don't plan on banning the Duchess, because you have to ban the Warlord, then you can't really go Tormund. So I go UDK, and this battle was actually pretty ripe for me, and when I picked the Tormund, I just kind of kicked myself, because that was... no. They're going to leave the Tormund in. Arbiter's going to A1 to start. So the thing with Narses facing Duchess too, and I was thinking too, like this is taking a long time on his end. I think maybe Deet was also having issues with his connectivity. Maybe he's got a delay between his send and receive or something. Because that did take a long time to enter the battle. And usually when it's fully loaded on my end with the bar all the way to the right, that normally means that the delay is on their end. If it's stopped along the way, the progress bar on my end, then usually the delay's on my end. So I tried to take out the Baron, and I was unable to do that. So Arbiter can now buff up, and Baron's going to take pretty much everybody out. So that didn't work out too well. The Baron was also pretty slow. He wasn't speed tuned to go with the team. Then I get the Guy Dude 93. So yeah, that last fight, just Tormund was way out of place. Just a bad pick for me. I think if I had picked somebody other than Tormund, that might have been an okay fight. Will go Sifi first here, and then I go Ankora and Narses, because they have Taurus. I'm thinking maybe Marichka, but also UDK can put up that heal and shield. Then they will go Wukong and Helikath. I'll go Warlord and Ramontu. And they'll just leave the battle. Maybe they just didn't have an answer to the Warlord or something. So we'll get back in, and I'll match with a name I can't pronounce. So he'll go first and pick Sifi. I'll go UDK and Duchess. And he's going to commit to the speed, go Ramontu and Arbiter. So I'm going to go... Well, I was picking Stone Skin Arrow, but I decided to go Nekret and Xena. And then they go Wukong and the Rat King, and I'm going to ban the Wukong, and they're going to ban the Xena. So that didn't work out too well for me because Xena's not going to get to counter the Sifi, and they're just going to run circles around me. So he knew I wasn't going to ban the Sifi. And I probably should not have powered up the Rat King. And the Rat King gets boosted around here, that even though Duchess doesn't get his bombs, everybody else keeps popping. And I'll bring them back, and they'll pop again. So, and Rat King's going to have bombs ready again, and they're just going to die. So, unfortunately, I've got a really tanky Duchess, but I can't do much about it. And then, when Duchess is left without a cooldown, Sifi's going to do what Sifi does and just sleep her, and they're just going to work me down. Rat King is going to take a little while to work me down, but yeah, not too good. So just waiting to die, basically. And it is a slow burn. So I think I do come back around and get to revive again, but Rat King will just get me again. So unfortunately did not really have this one planned out too well. So Duchess is gone and can't stall on this one anymore. I just had nothing for the Rat King. I picked the wrong ban target, but that's fine. So I'll get Aufnev, and I will pick first. I'll go back to picking UDK first. And they'll go Sifi and Arbiter, so they're going speed too. I typically have a lot better handle on speed teams than has been the result today. Today has been a little bit mixed. Then they'll go Nekret, so tanky, and Frolny. And I've watched enough Gribnub to know how strong Frolny can be. It almost doesn't matter who he picks. Frolny's gone. Geralt is going to smack. Frolny's gone. Bye, Frolny. Nekret's going to help me with Narses as I go the couple. And I'm hoping somebody has Bolster. They don't. So, just the Nekret protection. Geralt's going to go. Not really do much to me. I'm going to buff up. I don't like facing Geralt, but so far doing okay in this one. And they do have the double reviver, and now Geralt is protected. Geralt doesn't have that much HP. I'm able to kill the Geralt, but not quite the Sifi. So, unfortunately, Narses didn't get it going too well there. But again, it's kind of the result of Sifi doesn't bring anything that causes Narses to double hit or ignore. So, still trying to work them down, though. They're not doing too much against me without their Frolny. I think had I banned anyone but Frolny, this would have been a loss. And it looks like I'm going to, at some point, pull out the win here. At some point. So I'm going to go for the Sifi, and I block revive her. Then I'm going to kill the Nekret, Arbiter's going to bring the other two back, but then just leave the battle. So that worked out pretty well. Again, I think if I'd left in Frolny, and he knows how to use Frolny like Gribnum does, I would have lost that battle. So we'll see who I get next. And I've faced this guy, I think, before, Chugosaurus. Either that or his name is just an interesting name. He's going to go Sifi first, so I go UDK and Duchess. And then he's going to go Shuzen and Georgid. I'm going to go Goffred and Xena. Surprisingly, I do pretty well against a team composition like this. They're going to go Rotos and Marichka, just loading up against me. Like, that's a tough one. I barely pulled a Georgid, but other than Sifi, all those are tough champs that I hardly ever get. So now I ban the Sifi. But I do have 2 of those 5, so I feel alright now. I really want a Rotos, though. Georgid's going to go first, use the AoE and not kill anybody. Pops the block damage on the Xena and gets stunned. I think I'm going to pull this one out. And it's... Goffred is really good against Rotos. If you can get control of the team in general, Rotos has a really hard time going off when Goffred's in the team. So I'm trying to take the Rotos out. Goffred's gone, but I'll pick him back up. I need Goffred to cycle through so he has his passive ready when Rotos tries to go off. So I'm going to kill the Rotos, and what I'm trying to do is set up for the A3 kill with Errol, and then I forget to do it, because I get back to Errol right here, and I A1 kill. I should have A3 killed. If I'd A3 killed, they'd all be gone. Fortunately, it was okay. Goffred stunned them, and then he left the battle. If that hadn't been Shuzen, if that had been a Reviver, he could have kept that battle going. Not to say Shuzen isn't overpowered. She's not overpowered. Not to say that she isn't good. She's really good. But I can beat Shuzen teams if I have Goffred. So they go Sifi, Rotos, Candrafon, and then the couple. So that's 3 damagers. And I will go Xena and Stoneskin Errol. I'm going to ban... I think I'm going to ban the Ankora, but I'm not sure. Picking between the Ankora and the Narses. One of them has to go, so I pick the Narses. I don't have a Duchess, but I do have a UDK. And I do have Bolster, so Narses had to go. So, trigger the Rotos, had killed the Candrafon. I'll take out the Candrafon again. Both revives are spent now. And now it's just about killing Ankora. So that turned out pretty well. Banning the Narses was the right pick there. That was a pretty scary looking team, but I think if they hadn't done Candrafon, if they did another support, they might have been better off. So I'll hop back in there and I get Go Up Steel. I'll pick Sifi first. And they will go Cardial and Necrest. So double ally attack. I will go UDK and Warlord. So they're going to go 2 strong hitters. Enithway's not that strong, but he is block revive on every skill. And they're going to go Turvold. I don't see Turvold very often. I see in videos a lot of people using Turvold, but I don't see him against me very often. And maybe it's my team comps. So I'm going to use Narses without Ankora, and I'm going to use my +4 Staltis. They're going to go with Wukong. And I'm going to ban the Cardial, they're going to ban the Sifi, so I don't have a Reviver. We'll get started. Also, I'm going to be pretty slow. Warlord goes first, puts them all on cooldown, which is pretty helpful, and he leaves the battle. So maybe he was hoping Wukong could go first and sheep the Warlord, and when that didn't happen, he just left. He should have stuck around, because I can lose with Warlord and Gold too. So then I get AP, and I'll go Sifi first. They'll go Arbiter Harima. I'll go UDK and Narses. It's a little early to pick Narses when they don't have anybody up with a condition. They'll go Georgid and Wukong, and I will go Goffred and Errol. then they'll finish off with Ramontu. So 2 buff strippers, 1 that can hit through Stone Skin. They're going to ban my Siphi. I'll use the hit points, the health points with Narses as my aura, and they will go first. So I banned the Arbiter, and Ramontu immediately got sheeped by UDK for stripping the Stone Skin. I'm going to get block buffs from Wukong. And then Wukong's going to sheep the UDK. Harima is going to take a swing. Ramontu's back to being Ramontu. I will kill the Ramontu, double hit, and then I'm able to take out the Harima. So that one worked out really well. So I'll show you my Narses build and my Ankora build. Narses is 221 speed. He's got decent defense. He's got 95,000 roughly on the hit points, and a bit low on, actually he's a bit low on the health points and on the crit damage, but he's okay. He's respectable. So his build is pretty decent. He is in speed and savage, and he has double reaction. So he survives pretty well on the first hit. It's about 50-50. Ankora's in triple reaction. I've got her in bolster. Her speed is barely higher than his, but she really needs... I was going for the slower than Narses build, and then I ended up 1 speed higher, and I really need to be closer to 300 speed on her. So it worked out in some, not so well in others, but if she's going to be a general support, I need her to be faster than that, at least for the way I play. But she does have close to 80,000 health points to put in a bolster shield, and she has over 3,000 defense, so I am going to go with resistance to boost that up on her masteries when I finish, to go over 600. So that's her build. She's not done yet. She needs more masteries. Still working on her level. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and take care.